fuck yeah, baby. You already know what time it is. YouTube is exploding with drama right now. That's not what we're here for, though. You already know what it is. Relax and let me take you on a journey real quick. This time we'll be breaking down another historical death match. We're gonna be watching Masada versus Danny Havoc in the first ever Gusset Plate death match. This match is a CZW fucking classic, and it took place on July 9th of 2011 at the ECW Arena in Philly. This match has been requested a lot ever since I started the channel. I haven't seen it since it happened, so I'd love to watch it with you guys. In case you don't know what a Gusset Plate is, here's a little briefing. Gusset plates are used a lot in roofing and construction. Things are fucking sharp, bro. I always grab one before I leave at every show I go to. Anyway, the blades are really small and there's over 100 on there. Landing on one of these with all your weight will fuck your shit up. In case you still don't get it, I got a little picture for you. Roofing and construction workers use it to hold the wood together that's holding up the ceiling. Also used on bridges and a bunch of other shit. We had only seen Gussets one time, which I'll show you in a minute, so this Gusset Plate deathmatch was pretty big. Masada was coming in hot off his win at Tournament of Death against Masashi Takeda in the final. Slammed him on flaming cinder blocks not once but twice. If you remember from past videos, Masada came out at Tournament of Death 10 with a Gusset Plate and was showing it off to the fans like it's the new fucking iPhone. Masada held it up for the crowd, but it's so small I don't think they knew what it was. They actually used them in the match after the fire spot.
It's in the ring right now.
Powerbombed him onto them, but the crowd didn't really understand what was going on.
That has got to be 1, 2, and what? No.
As the crowd didn't pop, Masada was like, alright, grabs him and slams him on the fucking flaming cinder block.
But it's a play! Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! 1, 2, Masada did it!
Masada picked up the win at Tournament of Death 10. 1 month went by and we get a shot in the ECW arena. We get a nice close-up shot of the Gusset Plate. Tape fades in with a shot of the match graphic. Graphic disappears and we get a shot of the entranceway. Suddenly we see Masada come out with his hat on and he starts making his way to the ring. Gives out a high five and starts marching. Walks around the ring and gives out a few high fives and then says fuck it and jumps on the apron. Stands up and before he climbs in the ring he says something to ring crew real quick. See him walk into the corner and stand on the second rope and pose for the fans. Climbs down and we get a cool transition back to the entranceway. This time we see Havoc make his way to the ring. Havoc gives out high fives as he makes his way down the entranceway. Havoc was a great dude and we see him give a high five to a fan and he turns around and checks out the Gusset Plate. Says alright, fuck it, let's go, and walks over to the stairs. Havoc starts walking up the stairs and he gets up on the apron and starts climbing through the ropes into the ring. Fans love it and Larry starts his introduction.
This contest will be decided under ultra-violent rules and is a goddamn Gusset Plate deathmatch from the ultra-violent underground title. Introducing first, the challenger, weighing in at 231 pounds, and hailing from Pringle, Texas, he is the Tournament of Death champion, the international, the night superstar,
Gets so hyped and he jumps in the ring like, let's go, motherfucker. There he gets back on the mic to introduce Danny.
and his opponent, weighing in this evening at 191 pounds, hailing from the unacknowledged capital hardcore, Silver Iowa, is the current, reigning, and defending CZW Ultra Violent Underground Champion,
fucking go. We see the men talking shit, and a young Brett Lauderdale walks up and breaks them up. You're a big Danny Havoc chant. With the Ultraviolet Underground graphic on the screen.
At the conclusion of Tournament of Death 10, Masada actually is the man.
See Brett walking around the ring, showing them the title.
Look it up on Google, people. Gusset
Walks over to the ropes and holds it up for the hard
buildings
cam.
and decks and basically our construction.
Walks over to the corner and puts it down and starts checking on both men.
Is the Tournament of Death champion challenging.
Get a shot of Masada, but Brett calls for the bell and the men lock up. Masada gives him a kick and takes him by the head and rams it into the turnbuckle.
He's going right to
Beats the shit out of Havoc and then grabs him by the neck and brings him over to the Gusset.
Danny Havoc.
Only Danny stops short and gets back up. And he's like, bro, you want to fucking go, and slaps his ass.
Oh, potato shredder.
Masada fires back.
These men have had a crazy history with one another, meeting at Tangled Web 2, and basically all through 2010.
Masada gets the upper hand and puts him in a
Their
headlock.
factions.
Men walk over to the ropes and Havoc shoves him off. Lays down and Masada jumps over him, bounces off the ropes again, and they go for a hip tosses. Havoc misses a clothesline, and we see Masada get behind him and push him into the Gusset. Goes for a schoolboy, but only gets a 2 count.
Yeah, you don't
and he
want
gets up and fucking slaps him.
really understand what's
Fucking grabs Masada's head and starts digging his forehead into the Gusset.
Face is going right in there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Masada counters and gives him a few elbows.
Those guts and plates.
Tries pushing Danny into it, but he puts on the brakes.
Danny Havoc now blocking the guts and plates.
See him give Danny a forearm, and then he starts grabbing him for an Irish whip.
things that are going to cut the shit out of you.
Masada stops short again, and we see Havoc run up and get scoop slammed.
TNT.TV. Oh, and CZWrestling.com cut close-ups of the guts and plates. I mean, it's
Masada looks at the fans and gets a big pop because you don't see wrestling like this in every deathmatch.
of state.
See Masada grab onto Danny's legs and puts him in a Boston Crab.
Oh, we know that's a Boston Crab.
Big Leg squirms around and somehow counters and pushes him into the Gusset.
First casualty.
And his arm was caught in the fencing.
Big shot to the head by Danny, and he takes him and starts digging his head into the fucking Gusset. Havoc just shoves his fucking head into
Draw
it.
blood here tonight.
Havoc pounds on his back and shoves his head into it again.
And Strucker to the ultraviolet beast. And this
And he climbs on him and starts torquing him.
Oh, God.
Grabs his head one more time and rams him into it for good luck.
Snowy.
Get a shot from the outside of Danny grabbing him by the head and he lays him down. Walks over to the ropes and gives him like a springboard tumbleweed. It goes for the pin, but only gets a 2 count. We see Masada checking the blood on his face.
We forgot to mention one thing.
Havoc stands back up and he goes over and picks Masada
This
up.
September to take on
Big shot to the head and he takes Masada and goes for an Irish whip, but he counters and sends him into the Gusset. He like fucking bounced off of it and he climbs outside the ring and we get a shot of his back.
cut up right now.
Got a little cut on his back, but I'd say he's lucky.
Me2 at the Trish Catch Memorial this September.
Yeah, and it gets back up and we get a shot of Masada climbing to the outside of the ring.
The awesome juke aside, Ryuji
Walks up and clubs Danny in the back.
deathmatch champion Big Japan Wrestling has ever had.
See him stand Havoc up.
Have him. It's a
Nice chop to the chest and he gives him another.
ends up facing him in that
Takes
title.
Danny by the head and starts walking him around the ring.
September, right here at the Asylum Arena, but coming up right now.
Throws Danny into a chair and turns around and we see the referee hand him a rag. Stands over Havoc and chokes him.
Oh, bleeding profusely.
He wipes the towel off.
Finally releases and gets off Danny and we get a shot of his bloody forehead. Goes for an Irish whip, but Danny Havoc counters and kicks him in the face.
Underground title on the
Walks
line.
to the barricades to regroup and Havoc says fuck it, runs and jumps on it.
Jumping.
Chokes Masada and starts punching his ass.
No regard for his body at all. Just throwing his body at Masada.
Havoc grabs him and throws him into the chair.
Regard for your body to sign up for a match with Masada. Very true.
Grabs Masada and pushes him into the ring post.
Now, sending Masada
See
into
Masada retreating and Danny follows him and gives him a double axe handle.
testing will.
Then walk on the outside until Havoc hits his head and calls for the fans.
Send him right to that ring apron. Danny Havoc says, come on.
Climbs on the apron as the fans cheer and he runs and jumps off. Masada catches him and whirls him into the fucking ring post.
Oh, what a
See Havoc laying there holding his head in pain.
off that post.
Oh, God.
Masada turns the corner and walks past him looking for something, and we see Havoc on the ground bleeding.
Champion. It is because he is the most ultraviolet man in the world right now, and right now he's proving that to Danny Havoc.
He basically
While he was laying there, Masada puts some chairs in the ring, and he walks up to Havoc.
Danny Havoc.
I would have said the turn post or
Brings Danny over to the apron by the gusset plates and climbs up there with him.
Hey, but Masada is mastering the art
It's like Masada's going for a fucking suplex.
Dude, look, they're right in front of us.
This is not good. They're
Not landing.
Fans chant Danny's name as Masada lifts him and almost drops him.
counter it somehow.
God, he's climbing
Oh no!
Did a sketchy ass spot, bro. That could have fucked him up.
fencing. His whole body is
See, his boots are on the bottom rope, but he just stands there as Masada holds on to him.
body is being sliced up now.
Puts his stomach on the gusset plates and starts shouldering it.
Oh, Jesus.
He's using those shoulder blocks to drive the gusset plate.
Havoc's like, bro, fuck you, and flips it on his ass. Masada yells out in pain as Havoc walks up and digs his head into it again.
Now stuck in that gusset plate fencing.
Havoc thought of an idea and climbs through the ropes.
He's got the big man trap. That's what he had to do.
Picks it up and slams it into his back.
Driving the
Gusset plates to the spine of Masada. Goes to deathmatch.
See Masada like sitting there with the gussets digging into his back, and Danny picks up a chair.
Or fuckery, as it was called at Tournament of Death 10.
Grabs it and fucking whacks it into his back.
Jesus Christ. This is all for the ultraviolet.
Havoc starts lining him up for another.
If they go E2.
Havoc said, bro, fuck this chair, and just climbs up there himself. Literally stands on Masada and digs the gusset plates into his back.
And Masada.
Climbs off of him and gets in the ring, and he gets a running start and gives him a big knee.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
See Masada on the outside, and he lays on the concrete. Cameraman walks up and gets a shot of Masada checking his head.
Man, trapping him and using his speed to his advantage.
Masada.
Danny Havoc has
Looks at the camera, and we see him start trying to get back on his feet.
that were used earlier when we had a problem hooking up the gusset plate fencing, and now he's taking it down.
Masada.
Starts moving on the outside, and we see Danny Havoc moving the gusset plates.
This is not good. What is Havoc? Oh, okay, Havoc's
Well, Havoc's building something over in the
Masada
corner.
sits there bleeding on camera, and he looks into the ring, and we see Havoc, and he starts clapping to get the crowd hyped up.
gusset plate fencing out right on top of us.
Thank God he did it.
Havoc starts picking up Masada, but gets a blow to the ribs.
And now Masada.
Masada gives him a big knee, and he grabs onto Havoc and tries throwing him into the gusset plates, but he counters.
Definitely! Break
Get
it!
a zoom in on a bloody Masada in the gusset plates, and Havoc walks up and starts spearing him.
He's stuck in the gusset plate fencing between the ropes.
Stands there and punches Masada in the face.
To be honest with you, artists sitting here actually shell-shocked.
Havoc's got Masada in the corner, and he gets a running star.
This is something.
Runs, but Masada moves at the last second, and he hits a gusset plate.
Oh, his arms immediately.
Masada grabs on the gusset plate boards and sets them back up in the corner.
Also, just completely splintered right now. Very.
See him like pushing Havoc, and he takes his arm and starts digging it into the gusset
I
plate.
think it was dangerous enough.
Fucking rakes his arm over the gusset plate.
Never.
Shakes his arm even more, and we hear the crowd break out into a holy shit chant.
Ultra-violent tattoo removal.
See Havoc take his arm off the gusset plates, and he starts trying to crawl in the ring, and we get a shot of the fucking blood.
Ribbons right there. This is bad news.
The blood starts to flow. Masada hits him with the gusset plate.
There's a reason they're-
Rubbing blow to the back, and he hits him with the gusset plate.
Teresa's the first one in the U.S.
Get a shot of Havoc's arm leaking blood.
They were the ones who signed up for it. The sad thing is,
As Havoc rolls around on the mat, we see Masada moving the gusset plate.
Violent warrior.
Grabs onto Havoc and rolls him onto the mat and goes to the pin and gets a 2 count.
A kick out after 2, and Danny Havoc
Masada's like, fuck it, and tries standing up and starts grabbing onto Havoc.
here at New Heights.
you're in perfection.
Gets him back on his feet and gives him an uppercut.
Danny Havoc,
He Havoc back into the corner, and Masada starts choking him with both hands.
at best in the best 10, his idol.
Starts making his way into the opposite corner and claps to get the crowd hyped up.
Hey, and these two right here are paying the price here at CZW's New
Masada stands in the opposite corner real quick,
Oh, wait.
runs at Havoc and gives him a big boot to the face.
Oh, driving that boot.
Punch into the corner again and jumps off the ropes and runs and kicks Havoc in the face again.
Just wearing his freaking face out with those boots.
Masada's starting to get hardcore and he picks up a chair. Havoc walks out of the corner,
This is it right here.
got right to the face, and we see Havoc sprawled out on the mat. Brett starts counting and counts a 2 count.
I spoke too soon.
Masada,
See Brett saying something to Masada as he slowly gets off Havoc.
he does not kick it in to
See him check out some of the blood on his face, and he says fuck it and stands up.
load prematurely, but Masada waits.
Masada gets back on his feet and takes a step in the ring, and we see him bend over and start grabbing the chair. Danny gives him his back, and Masada fucking cracks his ass.
Hard chair shot.
Jesus Christ, and Masada sets up the chair and starts trying to put the Gusset plates on.
All over Danny Havoc.
Havoc crawls over to the ropes and tries getting back up.
Hey, in CZW, we've never
Crowd
seen
keeps clapping to get Danny back up, and we see him stand up.
But the truth is, he's still standing 7 years later after he started.
Masada's got the Gusset plate set up on the chair, and he walks up and attacks Havoc.
Literally any other wrestler I know.
Puts him in the corner and gives him a big chop.
Masada, the awesome Masada, Waco, Texas' own. The most.
Masada calling for a DVD, and he picks Havoc up over his head.
He's got him on his back.
He goes to slam him. Havoc counters and lands on his feet and tries giving him a dragon suplex into it. Masada gives him a few elbows and spins around and puts him in a front face lock. Havoc tries lifting him, but Masada counters and spins him around and lifts him up and slams him on the gusset. Oh fuck yeah, Masada fucking destroyed his ass.
These men,
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Crowd breaks out into a huge CZW chant.
boundary that one can put themselves through here tonight.
See Danny laying there, and we get another shot of Masada getting back up to his feet.
The blood just pouring out of countless holes.
Gets back up and walks over to Havoc and takes him by the leg and pulls on him and goes for the pin. Lauderdale goes for the count. Masada gets another 2 count. Masada looks at Brett like, what the fuck, as Havoc pounds on the mat.
He's a deathmatch drunkard. He gets off on the pain in these matches.
You know what? Between the heat, the loss of blood, and the physical damage has been caused.
Masada gets back on his feet, and we see Havoc trying to attack him. He clubbed to the back, and the men start exchanging blows, but Masada gives him a kick to the face.
Throwing those punches right up in the gut.
Damn, does he know who he's against? Does he know what building he's in?
Havoc sits there. We see Masada come back into frame with the Gusset plate.
Blade set up.
Walks up and lays the Gusset plate boards on Havoc's back.
But effective. This
See Masada go over and grab a chair and walk back up to Danny.
is a motherfucker.
Masada lines his back up and cracks him again. Get a shot of Havoc's beat up body as he tries standing back up.
What did Danny do to deserve this punishment?
See Masada grab onto the Gusset board and lay it on the mat.
Ultraviolet Underground Championship. That's what he did to deserve this. You end up.
Climbs through the ropes and we get a shot of Havoc still trying to get up.
You're an ultraviolet.
Goes right up to Havoc and lays him down on top of the fucking Gusset plate board.
He's turned out the challenge of men.
Takes Danny's head and slams him into it.
Like, oh no.
Since we're still very new, so they didn't really know how to use them, but we get a shot of Masada walking around the ring and he grabs a chair.
Beat him and actually welcome him into the nation of intoxication.
Masada takes the chair and he walks up to Havoc and lays it on his back.
Looking at the other side of his body. Jesus, he's climbing on the ring apron.
He's gonna need a nation of
See Masada climb up on the ring apron and he stands up and he's got another chair.
Or now! Wow!
Fucking rammed it into his back. Here's another angle. Back to the match, we get a nice shot of the Gusset plate.
Hey! After what happened,
Get a shot of Masada, who rolls back into the ring, and he goes up to Danny and lays on him for the pin and gets another 2 count.
Kick out after 2.
yeah, Havoc was barely able to get up.
Says something to Brett, but we can't hear him, and then he rakes Danny's eye.
He wasn't able to put his full weight on top of Havoc.
Get a shot of Masada standing up in the ring once again, and he walks over to the rope.
Hybrid ENT. This man here, the ultra-violent beast, Masada.
Pretty silent in the arena as Masada looks for a weapon.
Entire tournament and to take home the trophy. And now he's
See him walk up and pick up those pair of yellow pliers.
championship. All for a shot and
Takes it and stands over Havoc and starts digging it into his head and stabbing him with it.
He's got a scissor. Oh, and he's just jabbing him.
he's got those wire cutters, and this is all
Get a nice shot through the Gusset plates and Masada releases him.
against Raijui Ito this September.
Get a shot of Danny's bloody back and he rolls over and we see his forehead leaking.
Violent fencing here.
Masada is
Masada getting into it with the fans, and we see Havoc bleeding like crazy.
I think we're just as warped for watching this.
Well, he's not the only one that's warped, you know, he's hoping for soundbite.
Masada throws the pliers down, and we get another shot of Havoc.
CZW, and I've seen a whole lot of violence in CZW.
I know.
Masada grabs onto Havoc and sets him up for a powerbomb.
One TOD trophy.
Gets Havoc up, but he counters and lands on his feet. Bro, what the fuck? We gotta see that again.
TOD trophy. Oh my
Back to the match, Havoc is kicking the fuck out of
He
Masada.
reversed that powerbomb attempt.
And he starts laying in shots.
A fountain of his own blood has made
Bounces off the ropes and gets arm dragged on the Gusset. Get a shot of Havoc rolling around in the ring in pain.
All this time, just put the deathmatch trucker on that.
All of a sudden, Masada grabs him for another one.
This unsettling ultra violence.
No!
Huge powerbomb on the Gussets, and he goes for the pin, and Brett counts another 2 count. There's another replay of that powerbomb.
Oh, the kick out, he has to just bounce on those.
And he rolls onto his back, and we get a shot of his bloody face.
Just as bad as the powerbomb.
This is what pro wrestling has evolved into. 2 men just going at each other.
Masada does what he can to get back on his feet, too.
There to make sure they walk around with glory. It's a mental battle.
Masada makes it up to his feet first, and he grabs Havoc and starts walking with him.
Look at the blood pouring out of the head of Danny
Starts
Havoc,
uppercutting the shit out of him.
but yet somehow Masada.
Big elbow, and he uppercuts the shit out of him.
This could be it right now. Havoc laid unceremoniously on the
Referee starts counting out Havoc.
plate fencing.
Masada wants to win it by knockout here.
Get a shot of Havoc laying there on the Gusset plates, and he starts to roll over.
By Brett Lauderdale.
Ref keeps counting him out, but he makes it up to his feet.
A few weeks ago, Tournament of Death, Masada was
He stands up, Masada goes for an uppercut, misses, and he gets dragon suplex. Right on the fucking Gussets, and the fans break out into another CZW chant.
Oh my god.
Perhaps
Fans are fucking loving this as Brett Lauderdale checks on both men.
retain his title.
listen to these fans.
Landing on the top of his head and neck, and look at his wrist went into the plates.
As the men lay there, the camera zooms in, and we see Masada cut his hand open.
Oh my god.
Gushing blood, much like that fountain that came out of Danny Havoc's head earlier.
See both men rolling around in pain in the ring, and we see Masada rip a Gusset plate out of his fucking head.
Oh, he's got to pull it out of his head. This is really.
See him take it off and throw it to the outside of the ring as Danny crawls over to him.
This is all just for a shot at another
Nick
death.
sits him up and the men exchange blows.
Ito has paid such a
Huge forearm shot.
better put it on the line right here.
Look at all the blood flying from both men's.
Men are beating the shit out of each other, and we see Havoc start to get the upper hand.
Back and forth, blood just flying through the air.
Masada blasts him back.
Oh, this is unsettling.
Havoc says fuck that and busts out a DDT.
DDT is short DDT.
See Havoc go for the pin and get another 2 count.
2 and Masada kicks out, showing why he won Tournament of Death 10.
See Havoc starts standing back up. Havoc bends over and starts breaking the wood on the Gusset plates.
Oh no, he's breaking apart the fencing.
Wait a minute.
It's got a broken piece of wood with a Gusset plate on it, and the fans love it.
Oh, this is really not good. But Masada.
See Danny waiting on him to get on his feet, and he runs at him, but Masada gives him a belly-to-belly.
Oh, suplex just sending Danny Havoc bouncing across to the opposite
It's
side.
a perfect belly-to-belly, and Masada stands over him and starts digging the Gusset plate into his fucking head.
Look at Masada.
Oh God.
Havoc yelling out in pain as Masada sits on his back.
Oh, he's pulling it.
We get a long-ass shot of Havoc laying there with blood all over his face as Masada digs it into his
On
head.
his head. And now
Stop the damn match.
Masada's like, you want to see blood, motherfucker? Starts shaking that shit, toying with Danny.
please no. I think he's trying to
Masada wraps his arm around Danny's chin, and we see the fucking Gusset plate sticking into his head.
into the head of Danny Havoc.
Masada just sits on his back, digging that shit into his head, and we get a slow zoom in on the fucking camera, and bro, look at that shit.
Thing is, Danny Havoc will not tap. I'm telling you right now.
Here the refs start counting him out.
Position he's in.
He might not be
out.
He might not be
guys.
He's not crying. Too much blood.
Whoa!
No! Signs of life. And one of the
Havoc with a big blast of energy fights Masada off and picks up that gusset plate. Masada stands up and gets fucking blasted.
No!
We have to see that shit again.
face.
No!
Slowed it down and zoomed in. Check it out.
Face.
No!
Right into his face.
No!
Face.
No!
He swung it like a fucking baseball bat.
Oh my
Oh
Lord.
God. No, no,
Oh
no,
my
no.
God. Stop the damn match.
No, no, no.
Oh my God, look at the blood. Stop.
Throwing that plate right into his face.
No!
Swung that shit like a drunk man beating the shit out of his wife. Masada's arm got fucking shredded and he walks into the corner and sits down. These things are literally like fucking razor blades, bro. See Havoc walk up and stand on the bottom rope with the gusset plate, digging it into his
Stop
head.
the damn.
In case you didn't catch it, look at all that blood squirting out of his arm.
Stop.
Back to the match, the men are still fucking wrestling, and Havoc gives him a snapmare and kicks the gussets into his back.
Right now.
Shit was like a fucking gunshot, bro.
No, 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 no.
Havoc hits the ropes and he gives Masada double knees, and we see his arm pooling with blood. Havoc goes to pin him and gets another 2 count.
Ow! Ow! It's the ultraviolet beast with
Crowd is fucking losing it.
Oh my God, look at the blood pool.
Oh, Jesus.
Fans break out into a Masada chant as Danny gives him a DVD. Fucking planted him. We see him go for the pin, and Brett counts another 2 count. You're a giant CZW chant, as we should.
That blood starts pouring out of that arm.
Havoc lays a gusset plate board down, and he picks up Masada, and we see the blood on the mat.
Oh my God, his arm.
Havoc tries lifting him for another DVD.
I can't even.
Nope, Masada wants to drive the boat. Another powerbomb on the fucking gussets, and he starts rolling him up. Got a Scorpion Deathlock in, and the crowd loves it.
This
Masada picks his controller back up and puts in a different moveset.
tap out is for your own
the
well.
ultraviolet! The ultraviolet underground!
He's literally like fucking strangling him, bro.
He's rubbing the bloody arm into his face.
Masada's got his STF locked in, and we finally fucking see Havoc tap.
Havoc finally tapped!
Jesus Christ, bro. We see the ring crew immediately checking on Masada. As the men lay there, we get a shot of his fucking arm leaking. Masada scoring the win, and we see Brett with the title as Masada rolls around. They're a huge fucking Masada chant.
To this crowd.
Masada starts standing up to his feet, and we see more blood on the
2
mat.
weeks ago at Tournament of Death 10, these same people in the combat zone.
Leans his chest on the middle rope and starts checking out the cut, and he takes the blood and rubs it in his fucking face.
Tournament of Death 10 trophy tonight. It's happening all over again.
Gets off the ropes, we can see dried blood on it.
BU Championship. And in 2 months' time, coming back this September,
Men beat the living shit out of each other.
Ito takes on Masada in a champion versus
Heavy metal music pounds on as Masada tries getting back up.
Asylum Arena. And right now, this
Rolls over to the gusset plates and rests his head like right next to him. Get a shot of him like picking at his nipple or something, and then he turns around and sits in the corner. It raises Masada's hand with the title, and we hear the fans give it up. The graphic on the screen declaring him the winner as he holds up his title belt. Masada stands there, we see Brett checking on Danny. See him holding on to his Ultraviolet Underground title, and he's like squatting in pain. He asks for a microphone. Hear another huge Masada chant. See Danny in the ropes on the apron listening to Masada. Masada extends his hand, and we see Danny sit up and think about it for a second, and he ends up shaking his hand. CZW crowd loves it, and Masada stands him up and raises his arm. As always, RIP to Danny Havoc, who he lost on May 31st of 2020. And he took his own life after losing his wife. It was such a sad situation. RIP to him. Crowd ramps it up with a big "That was awesome" chant. Masada proudly walks around the CZW ring and gets on the mic.
Man, it's gonna be a damn fine champ.
I get a title shot that piece of shit fucking Ito. This ain't no fucking work, and I despise that fucking cocksucker. It's a piece of paper, ain't fucking years, and that fucking champion come over here. I'm telling you right now, motherfucker, it's gonna be totally different when it's on a very sorry piece of shit.
Puts the mic down and picks up his CZW title and holds it up for the fans.
Fuck yeah.
See him climb up on the second rope and pose with the title once again. Starts punching his own head like a fucking nut. He raises up his title and the fans give it up as he gives out a few high fives. His arm got fucking filleted, bro. That shit was sick. See Masada walking up the entrance ramp, and right when he gets to the Titantron, he turns around and holds up his title for the fans, and that's a wrap on this match, guys. If you're enjoying this content, please consider checking out patreon.com/channel666. So weird. I was just cleaning up this video so I could post it, and I went on Facebook and I saw Masada just posted that. And he had so much respect to the deathmatch scene, bro. It's such a shame. People still honor him to this day. This match was featured really quick in the Hard Way documentary. Check it out.
The whole Gusset plate came along because I used to do house flips and remodeling, and so I would always see those at Home Depot. I was like, man, that'd be crazy, like if somebody would ever do that. And then several years later, you know, getting the opportunity to do that and do a different type of stipulation of a match, that's how that came about.
It's champion. Oh no! Is it really worth fighting BJW?
Look at his back. He's getting cut up right now.
Is this worth fighting. Oh my God!
Oh no!
His whole side of his head was just on that Gusset plate. He was cut up.
But Danny Havoc is wrestling a smart match against the bigger man, trapping him.
Oh my God!
Never before have we seen a match like this in a combat zone.
Ultra violent tattoo removal.
Oh, this is fucking awful. Danny Havoc's arm is ripped to ribbons right there. Right now.
It's actually
Oh my God.
gushing blood. Much like that fountain that came out of Danny Havoc's head earlier. Attack just for his own safety.
The thing is, Danny Havoc will not tap. I'm telling you right
Oh,
now.
he might tap.
He might not have a choice.
This position he's in.
He might not
he's
be-
out.
he
He's
might
out,
not be-
guys. Right into his face.
No!
Oh my!
Oh God.
The gusset plates with against Danny Havoc, getting hit with that, like literally a gusset plate has 100 blades on it that you put housing together. When he hit me in the shoulder with that, like literally these were shooting out. It looked like fucking piss, like literally coming out like blood. And you know, that kind of freaked me out because it's like, holy shit, I couldn't tell how bad it was. So,
That one was pretty bad.
the one on my back actually was worse. When he ran the knee through it, like he sat on my back and like literally it shred up. But since I wear a shirt, you couldn't see it. I mean, when I did like the promo after the match, they showed like a close up of it.
Also got into it in his RF video shoot interview.
I mean, I take pride in it. Same thing with the one like last year. But the one that was cool about that tournament was building to me and Danny Havoc in the Gusset plate match.
Which
I
believe was the
time.
following month.
Mhm.
You and Danny Havoc at the arena. Gusset plates. Whose idea was it?
Oh, that was mine.
And where did you get that idea? Where did you get that sick idea?
Originally, like when I would come back from Japan, I would like flip houses. Working for a buddy of mine, Martin, and we would do house repairs and do add-ons to houses and whatnot. And I remember seeing gusset plates for framing homes, and I was like, that'd be a sick gimmick. And that was actually, I wasn't even in Japan at that time. I was actually in Ring of Honor. And I remember telling my buddy Martin, I was like, yeah, somebody needs to do this in a death match. And years later, we actually finally did.
Were you how did Danny Havoc become the opponent for that? Was that somebody who you decided like this is who you trust for it, or is it just Danny Havoc's up next?
I think a combination of both. And another thing is he was the UVU champ at the time, and then he's also one of the crazy bastard that would actually do it and actually be able to pull it off and do it really well.
A lot of fans didn't know what the hell a gusset plate was, and
Yeah, not too many people do.
yeah, obviously, I think people had no idea what to expect with that match. And obviously, people who know now know just how brutal those things are. When you're doing a match like a gusset plate match or like razor boards or something, like, do you get any extra like I don't know, nerves? Like, is there nervousness or worry at all, or are you like more hyped? Like, all right, now we're taking it to another level, or?
It's a combination of all of those. It's less like we're doing something new in the business, like death matches in the business. So that's always like rare to see because everything gets kind of pretty redundant. And then going out there, you kind of have an idea what to expect, but you really fully don't know. Like DJ was like, well, tell me what I need to expect out of this match, and I told DJ right away, I was like, expect a bloodbath, because those things are sharp as hell, and there's 100 blades on one plate, so it's easily thousands of blades on each one of those gimmicks, those gate gimmicks.
Right, and for the people who I mean, I guess if they're watching this, they've probably seen that match. you know, the match was obviously brutal, but there's a certain point in the match where it goes to a whole other level, and you know what I'm talking about. Danny Havoc picks up a broken piece of the board that's got a plate on it, and he gives a home run swing to your arm.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like everything turns to slow motion when that happened. Like, you just start to see, like, the cloud of blood go squirting off your arm, and it's just like something nobody had ever seen before. How was that?
Literally when it happened, like fucking, when he pulled the gusset out of my arm, it was like literally just like pissing out. Like every single one of these holes, like you saw it firsthand, it was like squirting out of my arm. And at that time, it's like you go into shock mode because it's like dark blood, so you know it's super deep. I remember you telling us to take it home. I was like, no, we'll keep going, because it wasn't too bad. But I was kind of like in a state of shock when I first saw it. I'm like this, and I go to the corner, I'm looking at it. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And
well, yeah, I mean, anybody who was at ringside and me who was, again, 2 feet away, I've had the pleasure or mispleasure, whatever the word is, of being in a lot of these matches that we're talking about. I mean, obviously, again, nobody had ever seen a Gusset plate match before, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So when he swung on that, and that blood was just pouring out, like you said, to a lot of us it looked like a gunshot or something. So we didn't know, and you know, everybody's telling me, you know, take it home and blah blah blah, and I'm, you know, I didn't disagree with them, but I guess you know, when you try to tell somebody like you to do that, you know, you're gonna do whatever you want to do. Do you? I mean, but when you look at a wound like that, do you get worried at all? I mean, how do you know you can keep going?
well, the thing is, like when it happened, and all the blood that was like squirting out, I thought it literally just shredded half my arm off. But I didn't notice, and then it was just, there were puncture holes. I mean, like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but right here, it's like it's like tagged out.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, these were all squirting. Same thing like on my chest, you know, it was like little piranha teeth, and you know, it was just squirting. But I thought when he hit me with it, like it literally stuck and just shredded my arm out. And then when I noticed that it was just holes, I was like, okay, I'm fine. But the way the blood was coming out, it's like we need to go home pretty soon. It's just, I don't want to bleed to death out here.
Have you ever had a match where, I mean, specifically probably it would be a death match where you have had, you know, a wound or a cut that was so bad where you did prematurely have to end it, like significantly before the end of the match?
No, I never have. I've usually just gone ahead and continued. Most of the time, like in Big Japan, like when I wrestled Miyamoto, it was a tag match. I got slashed like right here on my side, like really bad, and that was like literally like the first spot in. And it's like, okay, what's gonna happen next? And then he ends up doing the moonsault on top of it, and then this got severely lacerated, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to go home. You know, it's like really bad. But that was already the finish of the match, and I ended up going to the hospital shortly after that. Same thing with the cut here, my forehead from Gusset. Like that was towards the end of the match anyway, so I could keep going.
Sure. Were you happy with the way the Gusset plate match turned out?
Yeah, I was really happy with it because, like I said, it broke down psychology, a different story, a different level, and it's like I was so used to seeing like death matches after like ECW shut down, like guys that just go out there and just hit each other in the head with like chairs and light tubes and tease anything. It's kind of like strong style now. Everybody thinks just go out there and like beat the fuck out of each other, which, you know, there's no art in that. And then certain people will be like, well, there's no art in death matches, but deathmatch wrestling, the whole point of doing them was to show that pro wrestling is real, you know? Because who willingly gets thrown through things? And I mean, me saying this really kind of kills it, but the whole point of doing them beforehand is to show how realistic it is, because nobody's willingly going to put their bodies through that.
Yeah. You know, it was another big match you had at Danny Havoc. I mean, where do you see Danny Havoc in the rankings of deathmatch workers? Where do you see Danny Havoc? Is he in the top? Is he in the middle?
Yeah, he's easily in the top 10. Yeah, easily. Some of the creative ideas he comes up with and just some moves, you know, Danny doesn't give himself enough credit. Like one of the,
oh, I know what you mean.
he doesn't give himself enough credit as a wrestler, because like that match he had with Gulak in that barbed wire match is awesome. You see them doing lucha European style chain wrestling, which nobody knows that out of Danny, but he can't do it. You know, he just doesn't want to,
Right.
or doesn't feel confident enough in it. I don't really know what it is.
September 2011, back at the arena, and now you finally get to head.
Masada also did a shoot interview that was like 10 hours long. The DVD is called Reflections vs. Refractions. Interview with Masada with a bunch of his matches mixed together. They spoke about the match with Havoc. Check it out.
Alright, so right now we're going to go to the next match. It's you and Danny Havoc. Gusset Plates Deathmatch. CZW New Heights, July 2011. And it's 1 month after you won Tournament Event 10. And what was your mindset going into this? You knew that all those Gusset Plates was not going to lead to anything positive.
Yeah, definitely wasn't. The thing is, DJ actually asked me what to expect before this match, and I said, expect me to like that. And I realized how much more that was going to be. I knew it was going to be built, but not as bad as it was.
Fans will see it, but your arm. I remember Rob Naylor, who I was sitting next to calling the match, actually almost threw up. He legitimately actually threw up the way the blood was flowing out of your arm.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many stitches? Like, there are doctors in CZW, it's not like Japan.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many stitches you needed?
Well, the thing is, I didn't need any stitches from it because they were deep puncture wounds that are probably about 3 millimeters like wide each, probably about 8 millimeters deep. Anybody that knows how to measure knows what I'm fucking talking about. The thing is, when he hit me with that gusset plate, it was literally squirting out my arm like this, like it was squirting out like this, and I was just like, you know, and then blood just running down my arm, and at that point in time, I was like freaked out because I was already losing a lot of blood from the cuts before, and when that just started squirting out of my arm, it's just like, what the fuck?
Did you have more stuff planned, or do you guys, I remember you finished relatively quickly?
No, it was put out that way.
Okay.
So we didn't have anything that was cut. We still went on. Lauderdale was freaked the fuck out. He was like, take it home, take it home. I told Danny, I said, no, fuck that. We're gonna keep going. Because we didn't have enough stuff in it.
And you know, before we take it fully to the match, what did you think of working with Danny Havoc?
Always liked fighting with Danny. Like even the first debut I did with CZW, we had chemistry with each other. Actually, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, look at that. That's
anybody that doesn't know.
You're a real man, by the way.
That's 100 blades on one plate, and there's probably like what 500 blades, maybe 600 that are put on those boards. So y'all do the math on how many times you're getting cut. Another thing is, even though I'm wearing a fucking t-shirt, people, it don't fucking matter. That's something that will actually go through 2x4s and actually punch you through the whole tire. That fucking cotton shirt ain't doing shit.
And you know, DJ, Maven, they have a company to run, but do they have any apprehension to this match that you know of at least?
I can't remember anything at all. I think the thing is, people were worried about how brutal it's going to be because no one knew, because it was the first time it's ever been done anywhere, and not knowing what was going to happen. So there's always that worry about the guys, like Maven and DJ always worry what's going to happen, how it comes from people. But, you know, I was happy the way the match turned out, and that was like what really broke me out in CZW to the deathmatch.
Alright, well, bring on the fan. Do you feel that this is the match that put you over the top of the CZW audience?
Yeah, totally, I think so. I think so, because I mean, first off, it was like a different death match that had never been done, and the other thing was like a brutality. I mean, obviously, like the bloodshot.
Yeah, it was.
And then me just taking my shirt and just like bringing it out of like just thick, dark red blood.
Yeah, and as far as like.
That's me right there. It's like punctures in my chest as well. I didn't just get my arm, got my chest.
Now, would you ever do this match again?
Yeah, I would. With against the right person.
Yeah, well, who would be the right people to do this with?
Whoever I don't like at the time.
But you liked Danny at the time. We saw what you guys did to each other. And you guys built up to that near final spot where the crowd came like unglued when he wailed you with the Gusset plate board. And you said it was by design and all that.
Yeah.
But did you feel that maybe it was a bad idea at any point when it happened?
No, not at all. The thing is, in that match, the worst thing I actually got was in my back. And when you ever see me cut the promo on Hito, it wasn't puncture wounds, it was actually serrations, like all the way up. And that needed stitches, and I didn't get them. I just had to fly back the next morning. But that was actually the worst injury I got in the match. But do I regret it, or like would I? Oh, we'll never do that again. No, I would do it again. I totally.
All right. And now that we're on the topic of CZW.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching the video. The match was just very different from what we usually see. Like I said, this is the first time, so they really didn't know how to use them. Before and after this, we've never seen anyone swing a gusset plate like that. Match wasn't the most exciting, but it was still pretty decent. Both dudes are fucking warriors, bro. You really gotta give it up for CZW though, bro. They have so many bangers. That spot was straight ridiculous though. Yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Just trying to break down another classic deathmatch. And I'm keeping a watch on you guys like always, and we got 51% of you not subscribed. Stay off the fucking Pornhub and hit the subscribe button. As always, my social medias and email are in the description. You can't forget the link to the Discord. If you'd like to show any support, please head to patreon.com/channel666. I've been dropping content almost every single day. Check out shows I filmed like ICW No Holds Barred Volume 56. It breaks out a superplex through the glass. This is just a little sample of what's on there. In case you get bored of wrestling, there's hours and hours of insane content on there. Last video, I did a t-shirt giveaway, but I never heard back from Demon of Strong Style. So, Moneybag Pimpin', you have won a free t-shirt. I'll send you a message on Patreon for your address. I got shirts from a couple different shows and companies, so you could choose which one. YouTube doesn't let me make anything off the videos because they're so bloody. It's fucked up, man, but for $6.66, you can get non-stop content every single day. Not only that, but you get in on the free giveaways, too. And as always, that leaves me with my special thank you and major shout out to my Patreon family. That's Nick Normal, Scuba Steve, Demon of Strong Style, Dylan Peterson, Jake Steele, Killer Clown from Outer Space, John Closser, Brian Fountanelle, Tyler Juliet, Anthony LaRosa, Not I Said the Guy, River, Diaper River, Adam H, Richie Ross, Xander, Stephen Hyatt, Howie Baby, Jordan Hotdog Johnson, Kevin Shannon, Taylor Brown, Adami Racing, Moneybag Pimpin', Chris J, Jesse, Tobias, There's Something Wrong With Me, and last but not least, Ian Stewart. I love you guys almost as hard as Danny hit Masada with that fucking gusset, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.